Going on, everybody? Repel here, and we have battle 161, and today we're up against Kevin. And of course I decided to bring a completely different mixture of team. Got the Whimsicott, Magnezone, Claydol, Conkeldurr, Moltres, defensive Moltres, Credant, and my opponent Kevin has the Sylveon, Mienshao, Whimsicott as well, Aegislash, Tyranitar, and Garchomp. Really unsure who was the Mega in this battle. It could have been either the Garchomp or Tyranitar. Now he is going to lead off with the Tyranitar, maybe to set up Stealth Rocks. But, you know, Garchomp can learn Stealth Rocks too, so we don't know. I led off with the Whimsicott just to be safe. Obviously, it's really nice to have a Prankster to lead off, simply because I'm just going to go for my priority substitute. And he actually just goes for a Fire Blast, you know, fine enough. Now I do have the Moonblast, which is super effective towards this Dark-type Tyranitar, but at the same time, it's not going to do too much to Tyranitar in the sand. And judging that he has Fire Blast, I'm pretty sure this is a bulky Stealth Rock Tyranitar. I'm just surprised he hasn't gone for Stealth Rocks yet, but I guess he knows that maybe he doesn't want to get trapped into Encore. Regardless, I'm actually still behind the substitute because he actually missed his Fire Blast twice. And these Leech Seeds are going to heal me quite a lot, simply because Tyranitar has so much HP. Like, look at that, I'm almost at full HP already. So obviously he doesn't want to be trapped into Fire Blast anymore, but at the same time it's like, well, you know, I'm still behind a free sub. Now Whimsicott's coming out, and actually I can't really do anything to this Whimsicott. My best bet is probably go for a Moonblast, and yeah, I do go for a Moonblast on the Switch. I can't go for a Leech Seed anymore simply because this Whimsicott is a Grass type, and Grass types are immune to Leech Seed. So my best bet is probably go for an attack. I'm a Substitute and Leech Seed Whimsicott, but I'm not sure what kind of Whimsicott my opponent is. Turns out it's actually more of a supporting Whimsicott, so it has Tailwind, which is cool. Tailwind is also a move, but it's not a permanent thing, you know. It only raise the speed of my opponent's team, you know, for like 5 turns, and that's it. So already, this Whimsicott is almost dead, like gone for good. Now I actually could go for an Encore and trap it into Tailwind, but I'm pretty sure I would be still in the speed tie, so I don't know. I don't know if I can still outspeed him. So it turns out besides Tailwind, he also has Safeguard, yet another 5-turn move. Safeguard obviously prevents any status ailments to his whole team, but it's just for 5 turns. So in those 5 turns I can't paralyze, I can't freeze, and I can't burn him. But I mean, like I said, it's just 5 turns, so I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of these kind of moves. That's why I don't really like using dual screens as much either. The only 5-turn moves I actually use is probably like Rain Dance and, you know, Sunny Day, and those are probably it. I'm expecting the Hyper Voice. Usually, like, Sylveons can either run like just full-on offensive or straight-up defensive, and it's just really hard to tell. So you should really always just predict, you know, choice specs Sylveon. In this case, he's a Life Orb, so he's not trapped into a freaking Hyper Voice. So he could have actually stayed in and go for a Toxic if he did have Toxic. I was fearing that he might actually stay in with the Sylveon and go for a Toxic, so I actually just switched out and go into Magnezone, which is the only thing that's immune to... Oh, actually I went to Claydol, because I guess I didn't mind getting poisoned, simply because I just want to stop Stealth Rocks. So there you go, 1 layer of rocks, done. And let's see if he will actually go for his own Stealth Rocks, but no, he doesn't. Instead of going for Stealth Rocks, he probably just wants to kill me. But it's not going to be a nice one-hit KO, no, it's going to be a 2-hit KO. So I think my opponent should have just set up the Stealth Rocks. But maybe this Tyranitar doesn't have Stealth Rocks. But that's kind of uncommon to see a non-Mega Tyranitar to not have Stealth Rocks. Expecting another crunch, I went to Conkeldurr. He actually went for Fire Blast, but he missed. Not that it matters because I'm carrying the Assault Vest, so he's no longer protected by the Safeguard. Didn't really matter. I went ahead and actually went for the knockoff, and he will actually go into the Aegislash, which will take a huge ton from knockoff, but of course it won't kill. But no, more importantly, he'll grab that weakness policy. Extremely dangerous, like honestly. I don't know what to do. He could actually start going for Swords Dances. I think going for a King Shield is just a little too obvious. But he actually goes for King Shield. I'm like, wow. So I over-predicted. I really did not expect my opponent to go for King Shield. It's just a little too obvious, because I could have just switched into Whimsicott and go for an Encore and trap him into King Shield. Who cares, right? I went for another knockoff, and unfortunately it's quite not enough to kill. Now he probably will go for a +2 Shadow Ball, and of course he does, but I know I can take it because I am Conkeldurr, I'm carrying the Assault Vest. Now if this Aegislash was an offensive Aegislash, if he went for like a +2 Iron Head, I would have been gone. But thankfully it was a special attacking Aegislash. Expecting the Shadow Sneak, it's so obvious. Like I'm just thinking yeah, I don't know, I thought some of my opponent's plays in this battle was a little bit too obvious here. It's like the King Shield and the Shadow Sneak. It's like anyone can see those things from a mile away. And he actually just keeps staying and go for another Shadow Sneak, knowing that he can't kill. So I guess he just wants to forfeit his Aegislash. I thought he'll actually go for another King Shield, that's why I went for Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp actually breaks through King Shield. So I didn't think so. And then I thought, okay, obviously after seeing my Will-O-Wisp, he probably thinks I have Roost. So I'm not going to go for a Roost. Because if I go for a Roost, he can kill me with a Shadow Ball. So instead of going for a Roost, I went for a Flamethrower. But he didn't go for a Shadow Ball. He actually went for another Shadow Sneak. It's very surprising, honestly. Very surprising. So had I known that he actually would have just went for another vain, in vain Shadow Sneak, I would have just went for a Roost. But hey, it's okay. That Aegislash is gone, and that's all that matters. Sylveon's coming out, but I mean, I guess I've never revealed that I have Roost on my Moltres, but it's like if you see a Will-O-Wisp on a Moltres, it's kind of assumed that, I have Roost. And obviously with Roost, this Sylveon's not going to kill me. He went for a Shadow Ball, very surprising simply because Hyper Voice actually does more. Pixelate, stab, Hyper Voice actually does more than a Shadow Ball, despite that I resist it. So I went into the Magnezone, expecting the Toxic again, but turns out this is a full-on offensive Sylveon. He went for a Side Shock, but I'm pretty sure my Moltres could have taken it as well, simply because my Moltres is physically defensive. But hey, that is okay. And obviously I'm not going to go for any electric attack. I'm going to go for Choice Specs, Flash Canyon. So very strange that my opponent would actually switch into the Garchomp to eat up the Flash Cannon, but he actually takes it really freaking well. So my guess is actually this Tyranitar is Assault Vested. That's why he is able to take a Choice Specs, Stab, Flash Cannon. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a freaking Flash Cannon coming from Magnezone. Now, my opponent can obviously go for Mega Evolution and maybe go for Swords Dance or something like that. I don't know, I'm really hoping that he would go for a Swords Dance. Or maybe Stealth Rocks. Because I'm going to bring in my Whimsicott and he will be stuck onto whatever he's going to be on. So he doesn't go for Earthquake, nor Swords Dance, nor, Stealth Rocks. He actually goes for the Rock Slide. Probably predicting I was going to go into Moltres. Kinda glad I didn't bring out the Moltres. Thank God. My Moltres is obviously not at full HP anymore. And, I went for a substitute, right here. Let's see, what the fuck is he gonna do? So it turns out he does have Iron Head. So this is probably just an all-out attacking Garchomp. With, Outrage, Rock Slide, Iron Head, Earthquake. Bread and butter. Bread and butter Garchomp. Obviously there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm getting hurt by too much Iron Heads, so I still want to conserve my Whimsicott. I'm just gonna go into Claydol. Honestly, Claydol went for Stealth Rocks already. So, and none of his Pokemon seems to carry any hazards, so there's really no point for me to use Claydol anymore. Since Claydol is dead, I can officially bring out Credant, and I know I do have a chance to live Earthquake. At the same time, Earthquake can kill me. But thankfully I live with 4 HP, and now I'm going to go for Dragon Dance, meaning two things. I can outspeed this Garchomp, and number two, I can kill it with my Crab Hammer. But of course I miss. And this miss on this Crab Hammer will reveal a lot in this battle. It's thanks to this miss that this battle was, would turn into such a different battle. That's all I can say. I don't want to spoil anything. But obviously he goes for a Dragon Claw, which is a huge mistake because come on, it's like I have Fairy type Whimsicott and I have Encore. At the same time, I am not doing so well on my team, obviously, simply because like half my team are just getting hit. Like my opponent's team is an awesome team, but his team hits like a truck. Like he has a Life Orb hyper voicing Sylveon, he has Tyranitar, and he has Garchomp. Like everything in his team hurts, and not to mention he has a Mienshao too. I can't forget about that. So I'm not sitting that well at the same time. But thankfully Sylveon does heal, Whimsicott very well once again. But of course I can't even go behind the substitute simply because Hyper Voice will go through substitutes. Expecting the Hyper Voice, I'm going to go into Magnezone, but honestly I'm not even sure if I can take 2 Hyper Voice. Like, look at that. But honestly, it's kind of thanks to Leech Seed. I think I do have a good chance to take another Hyper Voice. Simply because Sylveon that carries so much HP. It doesn't quite matter though. I do outspeed the Sylveon. Technically, we are supposed to speed type because we have the same base speed. But my Magnezone actually carries some EVs in speed. Now Mienshao's coming out, and I don't have a Ghost type. I don't have anything. So I kind of just have to let my Magnezone die. Very sad. I was hoping maybe he would actually just go for like a Fake Out, U-turn, or Knockoff. Knockoff, is very common on a Mienshao. But yeah, it will obviously be a 2-hit KO to Moltres anyway, so I have to land my Will-O-Wisp right here, right now. I could have actually gone for the Hurricane, but obviously, Hurricane has really poor accuracy, and knowing me, guys, like I have the shittiest luck. If you guys follow any of my Wi-Fi battles, you know I have shit luck. I mean, like shit, like my Crab Hammer on my Dragon Dancing Credant just missed. So, I don't want to cry over spilled milk, but I'm just so sad my Crab Hammer missed. Anyway, he can't do anything to me, so he's switching out, but at the same time, that Mienshao is kind of burned. So I think so far my opponent now has the Garchomp and the Mienshao left. While I have more Pokemon on my side, but this Garchomp is gonna do a number on my team. So like I said, I was very sad that I missed my Crab Hammer. Had I landed my Crab Hammer, it would have been a sure kill, but that is okay. That is okay. Nothing in my team really wants to take a Rock Slide coming from Mega Garchomp. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's Mega Garchomp. Who wants to take any attacks coming from Garchomp? So my best bet is probably just go for the Encore, trap him, and hopefully I can take some Rock Slides, but honestly, these Rock Slides are going to do so much work to Whimsicott. Look, it's going to be like, it's an easy 3-hit KO. So like one more Rock Slide will destroy me. And surprisingly, he is switching out. Like he could have probably stayed in and just finished me off with a Rock Slide. Very surprising that he would actually switch out here. But hey, I didn't care. I just went for a substitute. I went for a substitute hoping that the Rock Slide would miss, but honestly, like none of my opponent's attacks are missing today. His Mega Garchomp's attack aren't missing. His Mienshao's attack aren't missing. I mean, the only exception is probably his Tyranitar's Fire Blast that missed. But I don't think that really mattered too much in this battle. Thankfully, I'm still behind a sub, and I'm landing my Leaf Seed. So, yeah, his high jump kicks are landing, and I only have a sliver of HP left. But it's thanks to the burn that this Mienshao's attack is weakened. So his high jump kicks aren't even going to break my substitute. That's just ridiculous. Like, Mienshao is probably one of the strongest fighting types out there with high jump kick. High jump kick is obviously a really powerful attack. I'm just gonna go for the Encore. I actually could go for a Moonblast, and it actually will kill this Mienshao. But I don't really want to kill this Mienshao while my substitute is faded. Yeah, because if my substitute fades, that means Whimsicott is exposed, and the Garchomp can just obviously kill me with his Iron Head. And I do not want... So I'm just like hoping this Mienshao will at least miss one high jump kick in this whole battle, so that I'll be safely behind a substitute while I just go for a So I go for another substitute, and he keeps using high jump kick. That's probably his best attack. You know, it's Stab, and I'm pretty sure this Mienshao has Reckless ability, which also boosts this Mienshao's attack. But Jesus Christ, like he's not missing any of his high jump kicks. So I could go for the Moonblast, but this Mienshao will outspeed me unless I go for a non-damaging move. For example, if I go for a Moonblast, he will still outspeed me, and because he will outspeed me, my substitute will fade, and so I can go for a Moonblast, but at the price, my substitute, yeah, my substitute will be gone. So good news is this Mienshao is finally gone, but bad news is I am not behind the substitute. See, if I were behind the substitute and this Garchomp would come out, obviously he would go for Iron Head, but at least I could still land some Leech Seeds and stall him out a little bit, to the point where the Garchomp would be in such a low percentage of health that I could probably revenge kill him with like a Mach Punch coming from my Conkeldurr. But it is unfortunate because I do not have that extra substitute advantage. So I'm basically at a stalemate here, and he will actually just go for the Iron Head. I thought there's really no point for me to go for more substitute. It'll just prolong the battle. I actually just went for the Moonblast, maybe hoping that I could outspeed him, but I don't have any investment in speed. So in case you guys are like kind of confused, Whimsicott's ability is Prankster, and basically Prankster is that any non-damaging moves that Whimsicott uses automatically becomes a priority. So like my Leech Seed, my substitutes all, you know, go first, but my Moonblast is obviously much slower. But anyway, that's a really close match, and like holy heck, if you look at Kevin's team, it's so good. Like it's just so damn balanced, so I can't complain. That was a very noble loss there. So thank you, Kevin. Guys, give a huge thumbs up for his team, honestly. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Please leave a comment, and if you guys haven't already, well, subscribe. Seriously, subscribe. You guys can be the first people to watch more Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battles brought to you by Repel Games. Thanks for watching, everyone.